Live with Tonya TKO. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm calling from Atlanta.
Hey Vanessa, we just got bumped off air, so I am getting ready to send out the notification that we're back because we got bumped off. So don't you worry. And this is one of the
Okay.
benefits of being on a text notification squad because you always get a text when we're live. So give me just 1 second, Vanessa. You'll just come back in at the top of the show. Okay? So give me just
Okay,
one
no problem.
moment. Yeah, let me just check to see, and then give me one moment. Oh, darn it. Let me mark this as unread. Give me one moment, please. Mark unread. Uh, 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 uh. Okay, so Vanessa, bear with me for just a little while longer. I just got to get the newly populated link. We're gonna
Yeah,
be
no
on
problem. I'm
all
here
night
until last.
tonight
No rush,
anyway.
Tanya.
Huh?
No rush. I'm here till.
Okay. You know what? I used to work customer service many, many years ago, and that's just an old habit from my customer service days. We had to continuously let the caller know that we were still working on the issue. And so now
Oh
that's
yeah,
just part of
yeah.
my training now. Give me 1 second. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We're back in the building, and we are we are getting ready to just get the link and come back. Ooh, somebody is getting ready to get blocked. And it's been a minute since I've been able to use my block thing, but I'm too busy right now. I'm too busy to even block this person. But Silvio, you've been warned. You're getting ready to get blocked. So um, you can either escort yourself out or you can just wait to be blocked as soon as I get my links up and all of that. So let me. All right, I got the thing. Let me get this inside of the. Okay. All right. We're back. All right. Let me just put the link in here.
Escort yourself.
Oh, so you clicking in, huh? You're clicking in? You're clicking
Yeah,
in? Here
I
we
put
go.
you on the TV.
All right. Hashtag TKO TEXTSQUAD. Text squad, send now. All right, send. All right, and then I just have to get the message out onto Telegram. All right, give me just one moment, please. Okay, and then here. Oh no, we're live on all of the platforms right now. I didn't realize that. I thought we were just live on YouTube, but we're already live on everything. And I don't typically do the I typically am not live on the other platforms when we're doing all of that. So listen, well look, hey, listen. Welcome back in everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm your host Tonya TKO. We are getting ready to go live for tonight's show. And we got cut off in the middle of the last show that we were on. Well, it was towards the end, but we decided to just come back out anyway because, we were just bumped off. So we were still in the middle of getting ready. And so we have a caller who has called in. Vanessa from where?
I'm from Atlanta.
All right, so we have Vanessa from Atlanta on the line, and today we're talking about let's stay together, the pressure that women feel to remain in relationships that are not working, not healthy, or just not what they want to be in at that time in their life. So Vanessa, talk to me, girl. So you're live on the air, and so we're just basically talking about, okay, perfect. The text just went out to everyone. So talk to me.
Okay, hey Tanya, hey everybody. So I was just listening to the last caller, and she was explaining her situation, and it just reminded me of a friend of mine that's going through something similar but worse. So yes, the answer to your question of this live, do women have, is there a pressure? Yes, I think there is a pressure for a woman to be in relationships. Only on the woman's end though, to try to make a relationship work and not the man. So I have a friend who was married, same thing, 10 years. They were together, married for 5. She found out that the husband had a mistress. The mistress came to the house, fought the wife while the husband was there, and everything got exposed in that situation. She found out the husband was sleeping with 12 different women. He caught an STD, and yeah, that was it, that situation. So they went through therapy. He was very unenthused about therapy. He would just show up and kind of like stonewall the therapist, not answer any questions. So they decided to just stop going to therapy altogether. Now, when I have a conversation with my girlfriend, she's telling me that she feels like she needs to be in a relationship because everyone is telling her to stay in a relationship because um, there's little to no good black men out here. It's slim pickings. It's like dumpster diving, and that she should just stay with her husband. It's better to stick with the devil you know. And I was one of those girlfriends telling her, yeah, you should stick with your husband. But looking back now, it's like now she's lonely. She doesn't get any affection. She's still not dating any other men. They're still living in a house together while he's dating with other women. And it's like she's miserable. And I asked her, why are you still married to him at the end of the day? Why are you still with this man? And her only good response was that for tax purposes. He's not a good looking man. He doesn't pay the bills. The mortgage is in her house. He doesn't work. He's like a barter or something like that, or a video producer. He makes side money.
Mm,
So there's really no benefit to her staying in a relationship other than being alone. She doesn't want to be alone.
mm. Wow. Well,
So
well,
yeah.
well. Well, well, well. Well, you know what? Thank you for calling in. There's really not many questions I can ask since this isn't your situation. You know what I
No,
mean?
I just wanted to share that.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, Vanessa.
All right. Bye bye.
Okay. Okay. So the phone lines are open. Ultimate Enigma wants to talk about the money. Who money you want to talk about, Ultimate? Who money you want to talk about? You want to talk about draw money? You could call in, talk about draw money. You could call in, talk about your money. All right. So the phone lines, oh, let me put the number back up. Oh, you know what? Let's grab the apples real quick. Let's grab the apples real quick. We did the whole balloon falling down. We'll do it again. Why not? This is a new broadcast. Hey. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's refresh. Okay. So we have the apples that came in from the last broadcast. Bernadette sends $10. Sharon says 10 and says, I needed this conversation. Thank you, Tonya. Well, you're welcome, Mom. I'm glad that we had it. I'm glad we had it. Brianna sends 222 and says, consistent live shows for our self-love lessons. Thank you. Thank you. What do you all think of this lipstick color? I'm trying something new and I'm also thinking about doing a nude pack for us. So let me know what you think about the lipstick color. All right. Let's see. Angela sends $5 and says, flawless makeup application, sis. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Rakaya sent $5 and says, this feels like girl talk. Yes, it really does, doesn't it? It really does. You know, it's nice to have just a conversation without all the pressure. I feel like there's so much pressure to do or be or have or say or whatever, but it's nice to just talk. And Perfect says she prefers darker nudes. Well, you know what? I'm working on a light nude right now. I'm working on an entire nude pack with, you know what? I can't do videos with high gloss on. I've tried it before and it just, because, I do so much talking, it starts sticking to my mouth. Then it just turns into a whole mess. So no, 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 not on that. So all right. So phone lines are open 323-488-3149. Let's go ahead and get our illuminator on our face and go from there. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Vanessa. I just called in just to say one thing. I didn't catch the first of the show, but I'm catching the second, and it's the first thing I hear is, "Go ahead, Vanessa." I'm like, I'm not on the phone.
Ah, you are so funny. Well, you're on the phone now, so you can talk to us about.
I know, but that just it kind of tripped me up. I'm like, huh? I'm not calling in, but I just want to
Well,
tell you this.
you've called in now, so now you're on the hot seat because we're talking about relationships. Women feeling forced to stay in a relationship that's not working for them. So what's your take on that? Have you ever felt the pressure to stay in a relationship that just was not working?
Yeah, that was actually my.
I can't hear you for some reason. Your phone is cutting out.
Yeah, this phone, just the one I told you about. My Google Pixel phone won't dial you because it's Google.
Oh, that's weird.
So I'm trying to get this number switched over so that I can call you on this phone. But I just want to let you know that and tell you you look amazing.
Thank you. What do you think of this light lipstick? I don't typically go light in my videos, but I decided to go light tonight. And I kind of like it with the lip liner. I feel like it makes me look very special. What do you think?
It looks amazing. That's why I was calling in.
Well, thank
And I
you. Thank
like a
you.
pink or a lighter color too.
Yeah, I don't typically do it, but I actually like this very much right now. I like it very much. So, you know what,
It looks
Vanessa? Thank you. I appreciate you for calling in. I'm going to let you jump off the line and then I'm going to see if there's anybody who does need to call in to get
okay. All
their
right. Love
POV out
you.
there.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, babe. Talk to you later. All right. So the phone lines are open. And so let's talk. We're talking about let's stay together. We're talking about women feeling pressure. You know what? I did not know that we were not using the term pregnant women, that people are out here using the term pregnant person to make people who feel like they're men feel more inclusive because their uterus is with child. So they want to be called a pregnant person instead of a pregnant woman. We are in some dangerous and some strange times. We're in some strange times. And people are talking, you know what? I don't want to get into that conversation, but nonetheless, phone lines are open 323. Oh, somebody's saying my cheeks are chiseled by the gods. You know they were, because these ancestors' hands were all over that. South Africa, baby. You're in the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello, is this Tonya?
Who you think it is? What you talking about? Who you calling, girl?
Oh,
You know
I
your
didn't
mama
know you
taught
were
you
gonna
better than
answer.
that in the
I
80s.
didn't know you were gonna answer so fast.
Well, you see the lines are wide
I
open.
I want to talk about staying with men even when it's not working.
Yeah, but you have to turn off whatever you
So
have go playing in the background because there's an echo.
can, can you can I turned it down, but I think it's a delay a little bit.
Yeah, there's a delay.
Can you
That's why you
still
have to
hear
turn down
yourself?
whatever's
Because
going
it's
on in the
on mute. You're
background.
on.
Is it? Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
stopped hearing it now. I stopped hearing it. No, no, I
Okay.
still hear it. I still hear it. It's still there.
You still hear it?
Yeah.
What? It's on
Hmm.
mute. I don't think it's me.
Okay, so call right back in then.
Okay.
All right. All right. So she's gonna call right back. Did we even catch her name? Birthing person. Listen, listen. I don't know what's going on out here in the world today. Making our way in the world today takes everything we got. All right. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Okay, this is Tiara. I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Hey Tiara, there's still a problem. I hear it. Are you on a headphone or something like that?
I am. I'm on a headset because it's not really good. Okay, let me see. Can you still hear it? I walked out of the room a little bit. Is it an echo that you hear?
Every time I talk, I hear it every time I talk. Well, you know what? I'm going to let you go ahead and tell your story. I just won't be able to ask you many questions because I hear that echo.
Okay. I just want to say that every time you need to leave a relationship, I'm in this situation right now with a guy. He treats me really good, but I'm getting that he's like a vulnerable narcissist. You
Mm,
know what I mean?
mm-mm. I
Like
don't study that.
he'll buy me whatever I want and he'll like be all nice to me, but every now and then, like he's not really confident. He didn't have a lot of dating experience before me. I have a
Mm-hmm,
ton of experience
mm-hmm,
and we're both in our 30s and I'm like his first girlfriend, almost his first everything. And so like I've tried to break up with him a few times and he starts crying when I try to break up with him and to the point where I just feel stuck.
oh.
So,
But what is it that makes you feel
yeah.
he's a narcissist?
Because sometimes he kind of passively aggressively criticizes me. Like I don't like to cook, but I know how to cook, and he's always like, "Yeah, you don't understand because you don't really cook." He'll say some stuff like that, or he we're in an interracial situation, and sometimes he'll say little comments like he was staying at a hotel a few weeks ago and he called it ghetto and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And also we had were watching TV and he was criticizing the person on TV. It was just like little passive aggressive things that I don't like.
He
Like
was
he
criticizing
kind
a
of
person
like
on TV saying what?
okay, so this might sound petty, but we went to dinner with my mom and my stepdad, and I love my stepdad, but my stepdad is missing a lot of teeth for whatever reason. He makes good money, but he won't get his teeth fixed. And the same day we went to dinner with my parents and we came home, we watched TV and we saw a man on TV. He was like, "That's a really bad picture of that man on TV. It makes it look like he doesn't have any teeth."
Mm,
And I just felt like that was like weird. I don't, you know.
okay.
So, yeah, and whenever I think he feels me pulling away, he'll ramp up like the nice dinners and the gifts and the spoiling and stuff like that,
Okay.
just so he can try to. Like even yesterday, we went out to a really nice restaurant for Valentine's Day, and I was like tired, but I was bored. He's boring. That's another thing. Men do not work on their personality sometimes. They use money and gifts to try to clutch us women down sometimes. And I just feel stuck. Yeah.
You feel stuck because he's boring?
I feel stuck because he's boring. And I feel stuck because he like whenever I try to break up with him, he plays the victim and he's like really emotional and he like goes hard about how he's gonna like change and he doesn't change.
What
Well,
is
he
it that
might
you want
change
him
for
to
like
change? Because I haven't heard anything that you really want him to change.
I we have had this conversation before, and I feel like I've been so pigeonholed in what I asked him to do, but I I I really don't. It's hard for me to articulate it, but I want him to. I don't. I want him to listen. I feel like when I say things to him, he doesn't listen. Like sometimes we'll have a conversation and I'll be talking and I'll say something and it's like kind of clear that he didn't really listen to what I just said. Like we had a conversation about me learning how to do something and I've like explained to him how I learned how to do this thing and then he kind of went on further in the conversation, still asking me questions. And I said, I just told you I learned how to do this like way back in high school.
So
Like,
you're just irritated by him.
yeah,
How
very.
much of this has to do with
Yes.
his race?
Not much. I mean, not much. I don't really think much of it has to do with his race. Maybe I would say 5%, but not much.
Okay. Have you been in a healthy relationship, long-term committed monogamous relationship before?
No, no, I never have.
You have not. Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. You might want to spend some time doing some internal work. I feel like my eyelash is doing whatever it wants to do. Ugh. All right, talk to me, talk to me. Um, did you grow up in a situation with a lot of drama or unhealthiness in your background?
Yes, yes. My father is one of those fathers. He had a bunch of kids by different women, and my mom, she was kind of one of those parents where, obviously I'm very grateful that she took care of me and she stayed, but it was very frustrating for her, I think, because of my father. Like, because he was so unhelpful, it was frustrating for her to raise me by herself. So then I was dealing with that. So that was a lot of drama. Like, yeah. And I feel like it kind of parentified me a little bit. Like I had to be very independent because my mom had to like take care of the household because my father was so irresponsible. So,
Okay, so you see, so I think so one of the things that it sounds like, because when I was in school becoming a hypnotherapist, right? There was a
mhm.
girl in there who was talking about how her relationships were boring, right? Like she was with this guy and she felt all of this drama and turmoil and all this other stuff, right? And
Mhm.
the professor asked her, well, have you been in a relationship without all of this drama? And he asked the girl what that relationship was like. And she said the relationship was boring and she just didn't feel any of that sexual chemistry that she needed to feel. And so for people who are raised in a lot of drama, that becomes the baseline of what's normal. And so you have to be very careful with when you're out there dating because you're predisposed to be drawn to the same type of drama that you grew up with. So you might want to go look into getting some therapy and healing
That
some
makes
of
a
those
lot of sense.
those old time issues, because part of it could be that he's boring, could be, right? But part of it could also be
Mhm.
that, you are pre-wired and predisposed to want to have a lot of drama around you or feel comfortable with drama because that's your baseline. You know what I'm saying?
That makes a lot of sense. And I really wanted to give this relationship a try, but I feel like that makes a lot of sense. But I just feel like he's clingy, and then I feel like whenever I told him I didn't want to be in a relationship with him, that just made him grip me tighter, and that's a problem that I'm having. Like, I think I'm having a people pleaser problem where I just should have just cut it clean, and I couldn't do that.
Have you been to therapy before?
Not for anything like this, no.
Okay. Well, listen, nobody has to stay with anybody that they don't want to be with, right? I just want
Mhm.
you to make sure that you have done the work that you need to do to make sure that you are satisfied with a healthy relationship. You said you've never had a healthy relationship before, and that some of the things that you don't like about this relationship is that he's boring. And so you mentioned that you grew up with a lot of drama. So please, all I'm saying is, and I don't want you to try to please me or anybody else or him or any of that. I want you to be happy. And so I want you to do the work that you need to do to make sure that when a healthy person does come along, when a healthy relationship is there, that you are able to stay in that relationship and not feel bored or any other thing. What were some of the reasons that you were not in a healthy relationship? What were some of your past relationships like?
It was kind of the same thing, I think, but a flip situation. Like my high school sweetheart, I tried really hard to stay with him, but he made it very clear that he didn't want to be with me. And for years and years and years, I kind of chased him. So that was
So,
that. And then
mhm. Sorry, go ahead.
another really unhealthy relationship I was in was with a man who was way, way older than me. I was 22 and he was like in his 40s. And I kind of romanticized that. And it was a lot of just drama because
Mm.
I wasn't fully developed. My brain, I didn't have enough experience. It was terrible. So, yeah, those were the two long term relationships that I had.
Okay,
And
so
it was
let's
me chasing them.
yeah, exactly. Now that you have this guy who is chasing you, you're calling him too clingy. Now you're trying to run away from him. But I can guarantee you that if he were not interested, that you would be that it would feel a little more comfortable for you.
Yeah, that's true. It would.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. You have got to do your own internal work so that you make sure that when you are out here getting into relationships, that you've done the work that you need to so that you know how to be in a healthy relationship. Because I find it very interesting. You probably prayed for a guy that would want you as much as you want him or whatever the case may be, right? And now you found
Hmm.
this guy who is all about the relationship. He doesn't want to let you go. He doesn't want to give you up. When you try to leave, he clings tighter. And now you're running.
Yes, that is the situation.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about your father. You said that there was a lot of drama. What type of drama was there?
My father had five kids by four women. I'm the fourth kid, and the last kid he had was with an Asian woman. So I have a biracial sibling. The rest of us are black. Um, and I just feel like every time he had a different kid by a different woman, he completely, or I think I was one of the kids. My older siblings had a better relationship with him than I did, and so does my younger brother. So I'm technically like the middle child. And I feel like he just completely just ignored me. Like, he just wanted to do the complete bare minimum. Like, my mom would ask him for stuff, and it was like pulling teeth.
Right. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at the patterns, right? So you have throughout your life been attracted to men who do the very bare minimum, very much like your father. Not around. You even got into a relationship with a much, much older man. Your high school sweetheart did not want to be with you, and you ended up chasing him and chasing him around for years, wanting to be with him, much like the dynamic of you having this unavailable father. So now you're in this relationship with this guy who you like being with him, you like hanging with him, you like his personality or no?
I do like some things about him, but I feel like he kind of he doesn't want to open up and talk about stuff because he is afraid it's not the right thing to say. So it's kind of hard having a conversation with him.
Listen, you know, you're not asking me for advice, so I'm not, going to offer you any advice besides working on yourself, right? That's all I'm going to
Okay.
offer, right? Because
Well, it,
because listen, were you here for the last broadcast?
yes,
You were here for the last broadcast, right?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so one of the things that I noticed that you said, and this is something that we do, and I just want you to be conscious of it, right? Because
Mhm.
advice is something we ask when we already know the answer, right? You know what you want to do. You're not asking me for advice. You don't want to be with the man, really. You want to get away from the man. The relationship doesn't feel comfortable because he's clingy. Every time you try to get away from him, he holds on tighter. And this dynamic is not a dynamic that you're used to, right?
Mhm.
I was talking to a young lady a few calls ago, and we were talking about her being a people pleaser. And so one of the things that you did on this phone call was you used the exact verbiage that I used in that phone call, right? You also
Mhm.
use words like narcissist because you know that these are key trigger words that a lot of people are using nowadays. The moment you say narcissist, people are like, "Oh, run," right?
Mm.
And
Mhm.
so you may not be getting the type of response that you want from this phone call, right? Then you use a key word, right? Then you use a key word that I used on
Well,
another phone call where I was telling a young, please don't interrupt me, please. That's one
okay.
of that's one of the things that sets me off, on these phone calls when I'm trying to talk and people are like trying to talk over me and I haven't even finished. So please just hear me out. I did give you your opportunity to talk, right? I didn't stop you from talking, right?
Mhm.
Right. So all I'm saying is just invest in yourself, right? Because I'm talking to you and I see that you have some, like many of us, you have some patterns that are a little manipulative. Please,
Yes.
you have the floor.
Well, I use those words because it's just something. Well, I had told him months ago that I feel like I was a people pleaser. I told him this because that's how I felt. Because you know, when I would try to like break up with him and he started crying, it really made me feel obligated to stay with him. And the narcissist thing, I kind of felt like would kind of peak out whenever he wouldn't get his way. So, I mean, I do know that they are buzzwords, but I use them because I feel like it's something that I wasn't aware of and now I am. And it
Okay.
just makes me wonder if he is.
Okay. All right. That's so
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
Thank you so much for calling and I wish you the very best with everything that you have going on. Okay?
Well, thank you. I appreciate your broadcast and I'll be listening.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So I'm going to take one last phone call and then we're going to get out of here. And then we're going to get out of here. All right. So 323-488-3149. The phone number is right on the screen. The Apple name is right here. I see that there are people who are laughing at him, who for him crying. Okay. Listen, may you all receive what it is that you put out there. May you all receive back what it is that you put out there. You're on Air Live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, Tonya. It's Demetra. I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, Demetra, welcome, 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 welcome.
Thank you. So I'm going to make it quick. I was just calling about the topic. I did not see the broadcast earlier because I was out, getting to the bag.
Okay,
But I did catch the broadcast now. So
okay.
what I wanted to say is I have definitely felt being pressured to stay in a relationship that I knew wasn't working for me and that he knew it wasn't working, but I had to get out. It was no reason for me like to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually going to marry my children's father. We were together for about almost 10 to, I say about 15 years, you can say total. And
Mm-hmm.
I just woke up one day and I was just like, I can't marry this man. And his family was completely against it. Oh, we bought tickets and people flew out and everything. And I did not care. We lived in Las Vegas at the time, so I was just like, turn it into a party. But my family of women, um, were very supportive of me ending, they said, if it ain't what it is, it ain't what it is. Don't you ever walk down the aisle to a man that you have beyond a shadow of a doubt. If you can't have that with him, do not walk down the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely felt the pressure to stay with him because I had 4 kids and they were like, oh my God, like you guys have to stay together and things of that nature. But no, ladies, something's not working for you, you got to get out. You got to go. When I was with him, I felt like he was sucking the life out of me. I was losing weight. I wasn't
Mm.
eating. I wasn't performing as a woman. I wasn't performing as a mother. I wasn't performing as a person. I would cry in the shower, just to hide my tears because I didn't want my
Mm.
kids to see the emotional, distress that I was in, and no one could truly understand it. And so I said, I don't care who flew in where, what money was spent. I cannot walk down to the aisle. I can't walk down the aisle to this man. So I canceled everything, got my money back, and honestly, it was the best decision I made.
Mm. Okay. And
Yeah.
what did the family say? Who was like, "Oh, we're all flying in," blah 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 blah. What did they say when you really made up your mind?
His family was completely upset. They just felt like, oh, you need to go through it. And I was just like, I don't give a, what y'all say. Your family member is terrible. I'm not about to walk down the aisle to this man. He's
Mm.
terrible. Like, no. I mean, it was just the end. My family was very supportive. They were like, you know what? We flew in for a wedding. Ain't no wedding. It's Vegas. So therefore, let's kick it. So my family was fine with it. But, my family of women were supportive and they was like, don't marry a man that you're not. We don't care if you got kids by him. We don't care if you got dog by him. We don't care if you got money together. No, do not marry them. If you're not sure that's not what you want to do not do it. His family was mad until this day. These people do not speak to me. They don't communicate with me, which I'm fine. I think they only wanted me to marry him because I would have been taking the burden off them to deal with him. Does that make sense?
Ye- Oh, wow. So they wanted you to take the foolishness off their hands?
Yeah. Yes,
Oh my
basically that's what happened
gracious.
because every time we got into it or he did something, they had to bail him out. They had to come get him, and that's where he wound back. That's where he ended up when me and him didn't work out. That's where he had to go back to his family members, and so they were like, "Oh my gosh, she's not marrying him. That means like we're stuck with him." And
Oh
guess what? To
wow.
this day, that's where he's at. He's with his family. He's over there. He's not doing well. He's not doing great. I mean, he looked better when he was with me. He smelled better. He looked better. He just
How
had
do you
a
know what he's
certain je ne sais
smelling like
quoi
now? My goodness.
because I knew what he smelled like when I was with him. And just looking at the physical aspect of him now, I know he doesn't smell good.
Oh my
Is what I'm
God.
saying.
That doesn't
Yeah.
sound right. Oh goodness.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't take care of himself like he was when he was with me. I just want women to understand, and you're absolutely correct, Tanya, when you say men have a better quality of life when they are with us. He had a car,
Mm.
he went to the doctor, he had his health was good, he ate very well, entertainment was there, he went out with me and my friends, he was more sociable, he had a better quality of life when he was with me. And I would toot my own horn because I take care of the things that I love. It's just that men don't know how to reciprocate that. So
Wow.
at this point, like I said, we have 4 kids together. My kids are 18. Our kids are 18, 17, 16, and 14. So they don't need me to communicate with their father. They communicate with him very well. He calls them. I have I don't want anything to do with this man. This man owes me money and back child support. So until he run me my change, I have no reason to have a conversation with this man. I do not stop him for seeing his kids. He can see them. They're old enough to understand who their father is. I have nothing to do with that. But as of me, as a woman, it's the best decision I ever made. Ladies, do not listen to anybody but yourself. It is your life. It is your life. It is your life. You cannot live it for anyone else. You cannot live it for your kids. You can't live it for your family. You can't live it for the idea of what people may think it is. Be happy. Do you live for you? So if you're in unhappy situations, get out, leave. Don't stay where you're not happy. Like I'm saying, I was literally, I felt like I was drowning in a black hole. This man doesn't love me. This man is cruel to me. This man is mean to me. This man doesn't help me. This man doesn't provide. He doesn't build. He doesn't produce. He doesn't do any of these things. And like you said, I went and got someone like my father. Because when I actually sat down and started to think about the dynamic relationship between my mother and father, I'm one of 7, and my mother and father had 7 kids together. My mother was amazing. She had 4 kids before she exited high school. She got a high school degree. She got a college degree. I watched my mother get up, get out here, get it, work, build, live. I watched her do everything. And my father was there. I'm not gonna lie, he was there, but he didn't help with the bills. I don't ever remember my father having a job, and the reason why I can remember this is because when my father died about 4 years ago, I went to go see did he have any Social Security to collect, and the guy told me at the Social Security office, no, he doesn't have any Social Security because he never worked. So if he never worked to collect Social Security or to pay into the system, that tells me he never helped my mother with anything. So even though he was there, he wasn't there. So for me, I got exactly the same man that my father was, someone who wasn't a provider, who wasn't a producer, who wasn't a builder, who lived off women, who was fine nesting with women, and that's what happened. So I'm definitely trying to break the psychology, and do better with my daughter, because I do have one girl, I have 3 boys, and my baby girl, she's the last one. So it does go back to our families and, what we see and what's normal and what's natural. It's good to question things. It's good to look over your past. And when you get older, you understand that life was different for my mother back then. I understand why she had to be so tough. I understand why she had to be so hard. Because for many years, I was like, oh, she was so mean to me. And honestly, she wasn't. Now that I'm a grown woman with my own kids, she was building me to get out here in this world and have to deal with these pathetic black men. She really was, so she did what she had to do, and I am grateful because she raised 7 kids. None of us are on drugs. None of us did anything bad. We, we're fine. We had a great mom, and I'm not knocking my dad. I love my dad, but I have to be real. He wasn't a provider. He wasn't a producer. He didn't help my mother, and he didn't do any of that. Facts are facts. It is what it is. But I just wanted to say women are pressured to stay in relationships, and it's always so one-sided. And men are never the ones like, well, you should stay. You should stay. You should work it out with your wife or your girlfriend or stay for the kids. It's never that, because men are all about self-preservation. So at the end of the day, women, ladies, we need to do what's best for us. And the best thing was for me was to get out of that relationship. And when I finally got out, I thrived. I got a bachelor's degree. I got a new car. I got a new house. I became a better woman. I became a better friend. And I became an awesome mom because I was able to take care of myself. And once I was able to take care of myself, I was able to take care of my kids better. So that's just my take on it,
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Tonya.
All
Thank you,
right.
guys.
Have a
Have a
great
great day.
day. All right. I just want to follow up with the conversation that we had before this one, where the young lady was talking about the situation with the guy. There's a lot of people who can speculate. All of us can speculate from the outside. Were his tears real? Were they not real? Were his tears manipulation? Was he a narcissist? Was he not a narcissist? First of all of us on the outside, we do not know. This is why it's important for those who are on the inside of the relationship. Um you have to dig into your intuition. You know more than any of us do, right? If you find yourself being bored by perfectly sound partners and you came from a tumultuous upbringing with lots of drama, coupled with never having ever been in a healthy relationship where you were not bored or where you were not, stressed from the drama and repeating patterns and repeating the same patterns that you saw growing up and stuff like that. I think it's important that each of us spends time healing. I think that's important. I think it's important for us to spend time self-reflecting. I did a video short in the last block that I did of reacting to videos. And we're getting ready to do a reaction block right now. I gotta go eat. I already did all my lipstick and everything, but I have to grab something to eat because we've been on here so long, that I'm hungry now and I need to nourish myself. So I really want us to do the internal work. I did a video reaction to a young lady who's obviously famous. I on online. I don't know her, but she has a rocky past, right? And in the video, nothing that she was saying spoke of her rocky past. She was, speaking from her heart about, some numbers and some stats and stuff like that. And there have been people, a lot of people who have come by who obviously know her from her videos, and they are like, "Oh, you shouldn't listen to this person because XYZ because of her past," right? And I'm like, all of my videos are really about self-reflecting, right? All of my videos about self-reflecting, about looking within yourself and figuring things out from the inside of you. Looking at a situation and figuring out what the most self-loving thing to do is in that situation, right? Um I saw somebody said she said he doesn't listen to her though. When asked what were the types of things that he didn't listen to her about, she basically wanted him to change things about his personality in a boring situation. Nobody has to stay with anybody. But one of the things that we can do is look internally and just do the internal work. What's the matter with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I picked up on some things and I said, just look within. Look and see. There's a pattern that has been acting out for decades. As a certified clinical hypnotherapist, I know that there is a program that runs beneath our conscious mind that many of us are not aware of. So that even sometimes when we are asking a request of a person or a way that we're interpreting a situation, we could interpret that a person is quote unquote not listening to us. And that could be, coming from a place of our own brokenness. None of us really know. That's why it's important that if you see yourself running through patterns that have existed in your life, that you just look within. That you just look within, you know? All right. So, on that note, I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to grab me something to eat, and then we're going to come back with our back to back reactions. Somebody's calling me at the last moment before we get out of here. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from, babe?
Hello, my name is Willow, and I'm calling from North Carolina.
Hey, what is it that made you decide to call at the very last moment, Willow?
I literally just got off work and I saw you live. I follow you, Cash App, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the message that you have to give today. Just saying that everything that you're saying is true. My wedding date is August 19th of this year, and I'm super excited. I want to invite you behind the scenes or whatever. But everything that you're saying is true. The let's stay together to keep it together, especially in the times of Valentine's Day, is a crock and a scheme for women to stay miserable. And you helped me move out of that by doing self introspection on why I had been staying in terrible relationships. But through your advice and your book is absolutely wonderful. I literally wake up every morning at sunrise and read over it to do my own affirmations.
It does make a
But
difference.
but definitely doing self introspection and having standards, boundaries, and self love got me to a place where I am literally marrying the best man I could ever marry and being in a healthy relationship, not only with him, but also with myself. So sorry
Oh,
that it's the last minute, but thank you so much.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I was saying on the last broadcast that I get so much pressure from vloggers, followers, subscribers, haters. There's so much pressure that I get from people who want me to purport a narrative that I just don't believe. I just don't believe the narrative, and they want me to just give up all hope. There are bloggers who are saying that men just cannot be better, that you're just better off just being with women. Other vloggers who are saying you're better off just not having any men in society whatsoever, and just, either leaving society or aborting all male fetuses, etc. And I feel like as time goes on, people are going to settle into whichever groups they're going to settle into, right? However, I I do maintain that, as human beings, that there's a light that shines in each one of us, you know? So, not based on gender or
Through
race or country or any of that.
through our own self discovery, we find that light, and from that light, we attract others that also resonate with that light. And I really do resonate with your message, and I truly do believe that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if you have to stand on that hill alone, thank you for being the martyr to stand on that hill alone, because your message is hitting who it's supposed to.
Oh, thank you. You're going to try to make me cry my makeup off. You stop it, girl. Stop it. Stop it. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, because people come to me all the time behind the scenes and they're like, "Oh, nobody's getting married off of your messages." And my messages are really not geared for marriage specifically. However, when you are the love that you wish to see in this world, that
hmm
that it shows
I
up.
actually called you. I actually called you a year ago because I was telling you how I had been dating and trying to figure out if I was going to be with this guy, and he had proposed to me, and I was super excited. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you, Tonya, for like doing your message." And then like a year later, to hear you still being on par with your message and being consistent, and I was like, she is the light. She is doing what she's supposed to be doing, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because just like being in these YouTube streets, you do hear all different, different stands on what's the right way to go. You are the right way for you, and you put me in where I was supposed to be, and I appreciated me and my future husband. Now we listen to you together, and he's getting himself together. I'm getting myself together. Self love is so important, and I wish that it wasn't so one sided, like there wasn't just like this one be all solution to it, because
Yeah.
he disagrees with you sometimes, I disagree with you sometimes, but in it still we still are able to take messages away from it.
Oh,
So
how interesting.
thank
What
you
is it
so
that you
much.
disagree with, Willow?
Okay. Okay, so the only thing I disagree with when it comes to the conversation of relationships and dating is we can we can be all for self without being compromising. Like I've heard you say before that not to be compromising in yourself, and I agree to a certain extent. So in our relationship, to find balance, we have had to do a little bit of give and take, but I can see how many people understand compromising as, oh, you have to give up something completely for the other person to be happy.
When have you ever heard me say not to compromise, though?
It was it was like 6 months ago, honestly. I saved that video and I will send it to you behind the scenes. I'll
Yeah,
save the
send it
video
to
and send it
me.
to you. Yeah, but it wasn't like you weren't saying don't compromise. It was more of you were saying women don't be all for your partner. Does that make sense?
No, because I don't see anything controversial about not being all for. I don't really understand that sentence, but people interpret words how it means to
Right.
them.
So the video was about a woman. She literally like gave everything to be with a man. And a lot of people in the comments were like, "Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like be all for your man." And you were like, "Excuse me, all for him. What about me? What about me getting my satisfaction? What about me taking care of what I need to take care of to move forward as my own person?" And a
Where's
lot
the
of people
controversial part
disagree
that
with
you
that.
disagree with, Willow? You sound like you agree
Oh,
with me.
I I because when you said it, it sounded like you were like be 100% only for self.
Mm.
And I don't think you can be all for self in a relationship.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but you know what? When people talk, words are faulty, and people understand what the words mean to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I do believe in give and take. I do not believe in anybody sacrificing, you know, their core happiness for anybody, even their children. Even your children, even your children. While your children are dependent on you, that's a different story, but I'm talking about at your core. At your core, you're going to have to find some balance even with children, because at the end of the day, your life is yours. I know people are going to be upset about that, about even for the children. You're going to have to find balance. It's just not sustainable. It's not sustainable. I have married friends with children, and when the life is being sucked out of you by the
Mhm.
family structure, you have to
Mhm.
find balance. You have to find balance. You have to find balance. Because the marriage is not gonna last if you don't find balance with the children, with your husband. Even the marriage won't last. You're going to feel dead every day. You're gonna wake up wishing you were in a coffin, and you can't serve your children that way. So you have to find balance. You have to. You have to. Willow, thank you so much for calling in and being a part of the broadcast. I appreciate your point of view. And yeah, send me that video. Find timestamp, and then let's
Yes,
circle
ma'am.
back.
I
Let's
got
circle
you. I
back.
got you. Thank you
all,
so much. Have a good
all,
night.
all right, thank you. Bye. All righty. Yeah. So that is funny. Let me grab the last few apples, and then we shall jump off from here. Um so we have we brought in $35 for this broadcast. I know people were too busy to contribute. There's 500 people on YouTube, 30 people on Facebook, one person on Twitch. If each person sent the dollar, it would really support the broadcast, even if you're seeing this after the fact. So let's go. I'm gonna read the apples in a moment. I'm gonna give you all a chance to send through. This is the name right here. I'll type it in the comments if you need me to. www.cash.app/$TONYATKO. And that is the area to send in the apples right there. And then is that not, did I, is it not doing a hyperlink on it? It should be doing a hyperlink. Let me do https :// and then put the rest in there and see. All right, that turned into a hyperlink. All right, so let me read some of your comments. What is the self-love lesson that you learned from this video and the one before that we just finished recording on? So let's see your self-love lessons. What did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about yourself? About somebody named Sunshine is saying support divestors. I don't know if you're saying that people need to support divestors or if you're encouraging divestors to support. Alola is saying, please get Zell. Really? Didn't they just have a big brink? What is it? Breach? Didn't they just have a big breach? Let me see. Don't date out of sympathy. Girl talk helps you look inward. SLL, trust yourself. No such thing as broke man being a good man. I mean, you could be a good man and be a broke man. I mean, what about the Dalai Lama? Could the Dalai Lama be good and also be broke at the same time? Did Jesus have money? Sunshine is saying, why don't you support divestors? I do support divestors. I support many different people having any type of way that they are finding their self-love. And if finding your self-love is divesting, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. SLL, be mindful of negative family patterns. Tonya, some of us can't use Cash App. Another option, please. Really? Oh, okay. Let me look into Zelle. Let me look into it because let me see. Zelle. How do people send money with Zelle? Do you have to have like an email address? How do you do it? How do you do Zelle? What is it? The Dalai Lama wears silk threads. Stop playing. You're so silly. I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily have to be the Dalai Lama, but what about any person that you don't money and being a good person are not you can be a good person without money. Goodness. Anara is or Amara is saying, yes, compromises will be inevitable, but it's what you compromise on. You know, PayPal just isn't really a good option for some reason. You do it with the phone number, really? Okay, so I'll sign up with Zelle through my phone number then, through the phone number for the show. Oh, now people want me to have Venmo too? Oh my God. Jesus' father had many mansions. What if Jesus's father was really a mother? You know, you all in these Abrahamic religions worshiping men, this is where a lot of our issues have begun. This is where but you know what? I need to see if it fits in with the interface. You know what I mean? Phone number or email with Zelle. SLL, you are one of a kind on earth. Treat yourself. He does wear the finest silk. Cash App is very simple to tribute. I'm not understanding because some people are out of the country and in different countries. So in different countries. So I want only the people. I want only the people who cannot use Cash App. Only those people, right? I want only you all to vote, okay? So 1 is going to be for Zelle, 2 is going to be for Venmo. So I want to see which one is the more popular of the options. And so I don't know which one is available outside. Klarna doesn't accept payments like that. Klarna does layaways, don't they? That's all I knew it for. So let's go ahead. 1 and 2, okay? 1 is Zelle, 2 is Venmo. Crystal said, Tanya, you said Jesus. I was proving a point with Jesus. You said Jesus's father had many mansions. I said it may have been his mother. That's all I'm saying. That's all I am saying. You know what I mean? That is all I'm saying. It could have been his mother. All right, let's see. So one, Joanna, you can do Cash App because you in the United States. Okay. I love Cash App. I just sent some love. Okay, I'm going to go grab that in a moment. 111. So it looks like most people prefer Zelle because nobody is voting for Venmo or Venmo. Sorry. So yeah, so it looks like most people are preferring Zelle. So I will look into Zelle. I will look into Zelle. Okay. Don't bend over backwards for someone you barely know or someone that doesn't reciprocate. I have this pattern and it needs to stop. I'm so glad that we talked about Zelle is easy to hack with your banking info attached. Don't use Venmo. It exposes your contacts to others. Oh my God. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Maybe we just, I don't know what's going on. Let's just go ahead and grab the apples that are here. Let's just grab the apples that are here. Let's just, I don't know. See, this is the conundrum. So Ali is saying do not use Venmo. And Ultimate is saying be careful with Zelle. So now here we go. Here we go. All right, let's check the apples that we do have. All right. So oh, we checked these already. We need to check these up here. Ultimate Enigma is a woman. Okay. Household finances with regard to these men cheating. Yeah, so she did answer that. He wasn't really doing very well financially. So I'm curious about that too. Lady Libra says, I did 1 year tech squad but got no notification. Lady Libra, if there's anybody who joined the text notification squad and you haven't gotten a text. So first of all, there's two different options that you have, right? When you sign up for the text notification squad, you have the option to simultaneously also join Telegram to make sure that no matter what, you will get a message, right? Just in case, right? Because sometimes these carriers, sometimes your number doesn't come over. All you have to do is just send me a message with your phone number. I'll update it for you. We were trying to get the systems paired up so that you could update it behind the scenes, but it updates, but it doesn't update into the system. So I have to do that manually. So just send me a message and I'll take care of that for you. Beatrice sends $5 worth of Bitcoin and says, I love your show. Thank you so much, Beatrice. I appreciate that. Courtney says, my fiance loves you. And so that's the thing. There's some men that hate my show and there's some men that love it. So yeah, so pay attention. L sends 111 and says, you're not lying about balance at all. 100. Thank you. I appreciate that, L. Thank you. Crystal sends 5 and says, I needed this. Oh, I so needed this on my healing journey. You're welcome, dear. I'm so glad. Wanda sends $1 and says, very, very appreciative of all you do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Paulina sends $5 and says, love knockout to knockout. Paula, what's going on? I haven't seen you on a Zoom in so long. Where have you been? And Paula says, Cash App is tripping. All right. Okay. And then Vava, like Vava Boom says, don't use other stuff. Cash App safer. Okay. This is what I'm saying. Wilda sends $10 and says, work on what you or get therapy to make it. Or maybe she means work on you or get therapy to make it. Yeah. Or work on what you got to work on or get therapy to make it. That's one of the things that I feel so sad today. I really do. I don't know what it is. My spirit, I don't know if you all can see, my energy is just really low. I really don't know what it is. I worked out yesterday. You know, I know something that has been making me feel really low, and it's kind of the topic that we're talking about tonight. And it's not really it's the reality of, you know, when you shift away from certain situations, you also lose some bonus family, you know? I mean, if the situation is solid, you'll still be in contact with the bonus family, that but you miss out on so much of the being a part of a bonus family, especially if you have, like, let's say you don't have cousins, or one of your parents passed away and you were in a family where, and you lost your father, but now you're in this family where now you have this new pops, or you lost your mother and now you have this new, surrogate mom, and then, all of that goes away. All of that goes away. So, yeah. That's the thing right there. It's like, I think, like, they have this thing, right? Did I grab, I think I grabbed everyone. I think I grabbed everyone. Oh, there's some extra. Hold on. Work on what you, or okay, we did read that one. And Lisa Roxanne sends in heart, 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 heart through Bitcoin. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll accept those after. So I'll say this, right? There's this phenomenon that happens with pregnant women, right? There's this phenomenon that happens with pregnant women where you have all of these visions of your son or your daughter, and then after you give birth to a daughter or a son, you mourn the child that will never be, right? And so you have this so you mourn the all of the things that you thought about, while you were pregnant, all of these things that you thought about with, with the son, or all of this stuff, right? So then this is one of the things that really compounds on postpartum, right? And so when people break up, one of the things that you lose is you lose the future that will never be. You know what I mean? You lose the things that you didn't like, but you also lose the things that you did like. You lose the vacations and the memories and the holidays. And I spent too long doing my makeup, and now my eyes are red and my nose is running. All right. So yeah, so that is that. And so yeah, so let me go ahead and grab something to eat. Let me grab something to eat, and then and you know what? We go through all different types of mourning. We go through mourning when the children grow up, and the children are, and you just remember the sweet innocent little chubby faced baby, and then You're like, where did all of this time go? mm, mm, mm. Anyway, I'll see you all in a little bit. I will see you all in a little tiny bit. I'm going to go eat and then I will be back. Selena sends in some pounds. Oh, my thing is not up. Selena sends in some pounds and says, hope you feel better. Well, you know what? I hope you feel better too, dear. Because I know that, when other people are in pain, part of what connects us is the pain that we have also felt or are feeling. So for all of the people who feel what I'm saying right now, I hope that you too, that that you just continue to put one foot in front of the other, that you just continue forward. Life continues to move, you know? So on that note, I will see you all in the next video. Like I said, I'm going to go eat. I appreciate the love. So we brought in $90 for today's broadcast, or this portion of the broadcast. This one and the one before. I mean, I am happy with that. I'm pleased. You know what I mean? I'm pleased. Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. One foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other, you know?